Welcome, my horror peeps. It is Doogie, and I am here once again for another batch of reviews. And it is the Halloween season, which means a ton of horror is amongst the airwaves and amongst your faces and on the TVs everywhere. Just watch something horrific during this holiday season. And if you haven't been here before and you're watching this for the first time, I am Doogie, and this is Doogie's Horror Den, where I review horror movies, sometimes horror TV shows, and I rate them. And based on that, I tell you if it's good, or it's bad, or it's, in between. So hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and let me know what are some of your favorite horror movies you're looking forward to this Halloween season. And I do have a ratings system. M, murder, bad movie, you don't want to watch it again. MD, murder, death, decent movie, you might consider watching it again. Or MDK, murder, death, kill, it's amazing, it was horrific, it was bloody, gory, scared the shit out of me. I'm definitely going to watch it again. And I got two for you this time around, so let's dive into the horrific horror pool that is Doogie's Horror Den. And this time around, my first one is from a movie that came out in 2017. It's an Argentinian horror movie directed by Damien Rugna. This movie is called Terrified. Not to be confused with Terrifier, but that's its own separate entity. But Terrified is about a neighborhood in Buenos Aires who are being, I'm not going to say attacked, but there's a whole bunch of supernatural shit going on, pretty much, in a few of these houses. And these paranormal experts are come in to try and solve the problem with, let me tell you, some horrific results. Like, this movie, it is scary. It's totally different than something that you've ever seen before. Like, a child gets killed and then comes back from the grave, but it's like zombified, not zombified, but it's dead, but it like moves and screams and doesn't want to leave the house where it grew up in. And then the first one you see is you hear voices coming from the sink, and then in the morning the husband wakes up and his wife's dead body is flying across the bathroom, all bloodied and getting smashed against the wall. It's very strange. And then this other one, a guy in a different house, he's being terrorized by this phantom thing you can't see until he gets a video camera and he sees it's like this tall, skinny man creature like staring at him at night, and very odd. And all these things are all intertwined, and when these investigators come in to try and help with the situation, it doesn't help. It just gets worse. If you haven't seen this movie, you need to see it. It's crazy. It's something out of a horror. It's pure horror. Like, these things come out of the wall and their faces half ripped, and the one lady, I gotta tell you this part. The one investigator, she's talking to the guy, and this hand comes out of the wall and like rips her head and like breaks her neck, and she collapses. And then the one cop, he's so scared, he's trying to leave, and he gets in his car, and you can, you're facing him, but you see what's coming running at him is the lady that's dead, and her head's like broken back, and it's like boof, and it smashes into the car, and she's screaming at he's like shit, but it's some brutality going on here. In Terrified, I enjoyed it. And I know this director has a brand new movie coming out in a few weeks called Where Evil Lurks. I watched a preview for that. That just looks insane. I can't wait. I'm so happy it's Halloween season. All these horror movies. But so my review for Terrified, my rating, MDK. It was awesome. I loved every second of this movie. So cheers. I mean, we'll sip to Terrified. Now let's shift gears to a movie I recently just finished watching. This movie came out in 2013, directed by Ty West and produced by Eli Roth. And it stars Joe Swanberg, A.J. Bowen, Ken Tucker Audley, Amy Semience, and Gene Jones. This movie is called The Sacrament. Now, this movie will invoke emotions out of you that you probably didn't even know you had. It's about these journalists who work for this group of Vice who go to this place called Eden Parish to find the sister of one of the people they work with. And it's a religious commune. You know, they get there and the gate is protected by armed guards, which, if you're a religious commune, is supposed to be about peace and everything. Why do you have guns there? So they go in, they're very welcomed, you know, and eventually they meet the guy who, Gene Jones, is that his name, Gene Jones? Yeah, he portrays the guy called the Father, the leader of this place. They meet him, they interview him, and he's very salty. You know, he gives answers that are very vague, but he makes good points, I guess, at the same time. And they have a party after the interview is over. They have a party. Everyone's all happy, and then they find the sister, and she's happy. So they're all like, okay, this place isn't that bad, you know. In a day or two, we'll leave, and then that'll be it. Not so fast. This is a horror movie, after all, by Eli Roth. So later on that evening, a girl who doesn't speak brings a note to them saying, come save us or help us. And that's where the cracks start to appear at this place. And, you know, other things happen, and the father gets involved, and then he calls a huge meeting at this pavilion with everybody who was there. Okay. And he's explaining that these outsiders who came in are going to go back to the world, who are they not like against, and tell them how bad this place is. So America's going to come and invade and shoot everybody and take over. And the father says, we need to live as one and die as one. And as he's saying this, I want to reach through the TV screen and beat the shit out of him. Because as he's talking to his people, he has a couple workers on the outside making this Kool-Aid that he wants everybody to drink. Now, this movie is inspired by the real events that happened at the Jonestown Massacre back in 1978. And, you know, if you know what happened there, you have a feeling what's going to happen now. And so he's convincing these people to drink the Kool-Aid. And it just got me so pissed off. Like, this guy, I don't hate a lot of people in movies, especially villains in horror movies, but this guy I can't stand. I just wanted to beat the living hell out of him. And so, you know, I won't give away the ending because this movie is just too insane, too jaw-dropping, terrifying. I don't want to give the ending. You should watch it if you haven't, and then let me know what you think of this movie. But this movie, it is intense. It gives you a lot of feelings. And for that, here you go to The Sacrament and to Terrified, because Sacrament, definitely MDK. Watch that movie and watch Terrified as well. Cheers. Oh my gosh. After you watch that movie, the father will be one of your top villains of all time. I'm telling you, because he's one of mine. Ooh, see, he's getting me all flustered again because, I just want to, somebody beat the hell out of him while he's talking to these people so they wouldn't drink the Kool-Aid, you know. But everybody, I am Doogie. Thank you for watching this episode of Doogie's Horror Den. Watch Terrified, watch The Sacrament, and definitely check out When Evil Lurks when that comes out a few weeks on Shudder. All right, so watch a horror movie. What's it going to do? Scare you?